I want to share a few words with you tonight. I want to begin by saying how completely dumbfounded I am by the first word of our Torah portion, and for which our Torah portion is named this week, this double portion. Vayakhel is our first word. Vayakhel Moshe et kol adat b'nei Yisrael, which means Moses gathered, congregated the whole Israelite community. Moses gathered the whole Israelite community, period. Here we are in the midst of this COVID-19 crisis. I am stunned that our Torah portion tells us, get together, gather around each other, folks. From our places of physical isolation, the first word of our Torah portion comes from that same root of kahal, community, congregation, of which we are. Not only that, but it says, Vayakhel Moshe kol adat b'nei Yisrael. All of the children of Israel are meant to get together. And even further, the rabbi known as Yalkut Shmuni says, the Holy Blessed One tells us, make for yourselves large kehilot, very large gatherings of people. This is our Torah portion. Really? I mean, really? This is what the Torah and the rabbis are teaching us. When all the experts of the world are telling us to isolate ourselves, here we are told to come together. Okay, so I think I've made the point here. But truth be told, it is stunning that this is how our Torah portion begins of all weeks. Yet so often we lose track of the hidden meaning in the Torah and in our lives when we look at it at face value. When we look at anything from a shallow place, look deeper, says the Torah, calling out from the depths. What are we meant to congregate for? Moses congregated the whole Israelite community and said to them, these are the things that God has commanded to you. Sheshet yamim te'aseh melacha. For 6 days is work to be done. Uvayom hashviyi yiyeh lachem kodesh Shabbat Shabbaton l'Adonai. But on the 7th day, there is to be holiness for you, Sabbath, Shabbat, a complete rest for God. Kol ha'osevo milacha yumat. Whoever does work on Shabbat is put to death, it says. No joke. You shall kindle no fire throughout your settlements on the day of Shabbat. And so begins our Torah portion with these stark words. But it doesn't take much to translate these words for our own pandemic. Perhaps you light fire on Shabbat, God bless you. Perhaps you even go online for a virtual service, even on Shabbat, God bless you. Yet now more than ever, we can safely say what we must not do. For if you do not take a Shabbat right now, in our case, if you do not cease from interacting physically with others, you may die. We can also say that this is a holy time, as our Torah portion says. We are in a holy time right now. Perhaps not the holy time that we imagine holiness to be. But it says in our Torah portion, on this Shabbat day, there is to be holiness, Kodesh, for you. Sabbath, a complete rest for God. As our Torah attests, this holy time is not necessarily easy, and it comes with strings attached. We are put to death for lighting a flame, says the Torah. In our coronavirus time, this sacred time can be terrifying, humbling, dangerous, deathly. But yes, I say, it is sacred time. It is sacred time. I can now officially say that I have lost track of the amount of times that people have forwarded me the poem Pandemic by Lynn Unger, dated March 11th, 2020. If you are one of those who sent it to me, I thank you. A reminder for our time. This poem resonates with people. This poem I will share with you. It resonates because we have entered a sacred time, a terrifying time, but a time to pause, a time of Shabbat. So I end with these words, this poem, Pandemic, by Lynn Unger. It's also in your chat box. You can read along. What if you thought of it as the Jews consider the Sabbath, Shabbat, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel, cease from buying and selling, give up just for now on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life. Center down. And when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You could hardly deny it now. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has come clear. Do not reach out your hands. Reach out your heart. Reach out your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we all shall live. Amen. As the poet has so beautifully expressed, may we use this time wisely. We need each other in this moment more than ever. The opening word of our Torah portion, its namesake, vayakhel, to gather, to congregate, points us to the fact that we must extend our hearts to each other, even if we cannot extend our hands. We need to show up for each other. We must, without a doubt, congregate, assemble our people, even if not physically. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here tonight. Let's show up for each other. Let's reach out our hearts. Shabbat Shalom.